The stunning landscapes you see are from Alaska. It's a place of incredible natural beauty. But in the coming days, the eyes of the world will be on this US state for a very different reason. A major geopolitical event is scheduled to happen here in Anchorage, Alaska's largest city. On Friday, August 15th, US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin will meet face-to-face. It will be their first face-to-face meeting since 2019. It's also the first US-Russia summit on American soil since 1988. The primary purpose of the meeting is to discuss ways to end the war in Ukraine. But the big question is, will this meeting bring peace or just be another round of failed talks? Hello and welcome to Connecting the Dots. I'm Munmun Bhattacharya. Let's break down what this meeting means and why it matters for the Russia-Ukraine war. The war began in February 2022 and has been going on for more than 3 years now. Many rounds of talks between Ukraine and Russia have failed. As a presidential candidate, Trump had promised to end the war within 24 hours of taking office. He has also said the war never would have happened if he had been president at the time. Recently, frustrated by Putin's refusal to halt military action, Trump threatened new sanctions and tariffs. He warned he would target not only Russia, but also countries buying its exports. Last week, the United States imposed an extra 25% tariff on goods from India over its imports of Russian oil. It was the first financial penalty against Russia's trade partners in Trump's second term. Trump had given Putin until the 8th of August to agree to an immediate ceasefire or face tougher US sanctions. Instead of escalating penalties, Trump announced he would meet Putin in Alaska on the 15th of August. So will Ukraine be part of this meeting? White House officials say Trump is open to a trilateral meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. But for now, it's only a Trump-Putin summit, something Putin had specifically requested. Trump has said there would need to be some swapping of territories for peace. Let's listen in to President Trump first.
You know, a lot of Russians have died, a lot of Ukrainians have died. So we're looking at that, but we're actually looking to get some back and some swapping. It's complicated. It's actually nothing easy. It's very complicated, but we're going to get some back. We're going to get some switched. There'll be some swapping of territories to the betterment of both. And but we'll be talking about that either later or tomorrow or whatever.
This means land could be exchanged between Ukraine and Russia. And this idea is strongly opposed by Ukraine and its allies.
Звісно, ми не дамо Росії нагород.
We will not reward Russia for what it has perpetrated. The Ukrainian people deserve peace. But all partners must understand what a dignified peace is. The answer to the Ukrainian territorial question already is in the constitution of Ukraine. No one will deviate from this, and no one will be able to. Ukrainians will not give their land to the occupier.
Putin claims 4 Ukrainian regions, Luhansk, Donetsk, Zaporizhzhia and Kherson, along with Crimea, which Russia annexed in 2014. His forces do not fully control all of these areas. Reports suggest a possible deal where Russia keeps Crimea and the Donbas region, which includes Donetsk and Luhansk, but gives up Kherson and Zaporizhzhia. Zelenskyy has rejected this outright, saying no agreement can be made without Ukraine's participation.
Україна готова до реальних рішень, які можуть.
Ukraine is ready for real decisions that can bring peace. Any decisions that are against us, any decisions that are without Ukraine are at the same time decisions against peace. They will not achieve anything.
Вони ніколи не спрацюють.
Meanwhile, US Vice President J.D. Vance has said Zelenskyy could join later, but not before Trump meets Putin.
One of the most important logjams is that Vladimir Putin said that he would never sit down with Zelenskyy, the head of Ukraine, and the president has now got that to change. We're going to try to find some negotiated settlement that the Ukrainians and the Russians can live with, where they can live in relative peace, where the killing stops. It's not going to make anybody super happy. Both the Russians and the Ukrainians probably at the end of the day are going to be unhappy with it.
But why is Alaska chosen as the location for the meeting? The choice carries symbolism. Alaska was once a Russian territory until the US purchased it in 1867. It's also the closest US state to Russia. The two countries are separated by just a narrow body of water called the Bering Strait. At its closest point, the distance is only about 88 kilometers. This makes it a logical and neutral meeting point. Most importantly, there is also a legal reason. The International Criminal Court or ICC has issued an arrest warrant for Putin over alleged war crimes in Ukraine. ICC member countries must arrest him if he visits. The US is not an ICC member and does not recognize the ICC's authority. So meeting in Alaska avoids the risk of Putin being arrested. Now the question is, how did the war start? To understand this meeting, we need to know why the war started in the first place. In February 2022, Russia launched a full-scale military offensive on Ukraine. Russia claimed that Ukraine's increasing ties with the West, especially the possibility of joining NATO, posed a security threat. Russia also made claims that it was protecting Russian-speaking populations and trying to demilitarize and denazify Ukraine. But Ukraine and its allies see the military offensive as an unprovoked attack and a violation of its sovereignty. Now, coming back to the Putin-Trump meeting in Alaska, some experts fear that leaving Ukraine out of the Alaska summit could weaken its position. It might allow Russia to push for a deal that benefits Moscow more than Kyiv. India, however, has welcomed the summit. In a statement, India's Ministry of External Affairs said the meeting could open the door to peace and end the conflict. So the Trump-Putin meeting on August 15th in Alaska is a high-stakes diplomatic moment. The world will watch to see if it ends the war or deepens the divide. Only time will tell.
साइड में था एक इंसान है उसने उसको गोली मार दी
थोड़ा बताइए पति को मार दिया
The cries of these women whose husbands were singled out on the basis of their religion and shot dead by Pakistan-sponsored terrorists in India's Pahalgam have been avenged. First, within weeks of the massacre, India decimated those terrorist hideouts deep across the border where the masterminds of this barbaric cross-border terror attack lived. And then, India responded with full force to Pakistan's military aggression, exposing chinks in Pakistan's armor and bringing it to its knees.
ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में भारतीय सेनाओं की सफलता सीमा पार कई किलोमीटर भीतर आतंकवादी ठिकानों को नेस्त नाबूद करने की ताकत और आतंकवादियों के बचाव में उतरे पाकिस्तान को कुछ ही घंटों में घुटनों पर लाने की हमारी क्षमता पूरी दुनिया ने नए भारत के इस स्वरूप के दर्शन किए हैं.
During Operation Sindoor, Pakistan's military assets were battered by India's military force. For the first time in 3 months, the Indian Air Force has now confirmed how India crippled Pakistan's military systems.
We have at least 5 fighters confirmed killed and 1 large aircraft, which could be either an Elint aircraft or an AWNC aircraft, which was taken on at a distance of about 300 kilometers. This is the actually largest ever recorded surface-to-air kill that we can talk about.
Look at these images unveiled by India's Air Chief Marshal AP Singh. In Pakistan's Arif Wala, an Indian Air Force loiter munition successfully struck a radar installation. The before and after images show the radar head had been damaged. This is a destroyed radar head at Chunian. The burn marks on it clearly show it was destroyed. Now see the damage at Noor Khan Air Base. And these are before and after images of Rahim Yar Air Base. That's not all. At Bholari, the Airborne Early Warning and Control or AEW&C hangar was targeted. The Indian Air Force said it was likely that an AEW&C aircraft had just taxied inside the hangar. The casualties at this location have been reported in Pakistani media. An AWACS platform was possibly inside this hangar when it was destroyed. The destruction of Pakistani AWACS platform was essential as they control the airspace in terms of the information they process. They provide targeting information to the aircraft and peep into the Indian airspace to see Indian assets. So by destroying it, India hit Pakistan's ability to coordinate air operations effectively and respond to Indian strikes. Together, this is visual evidence that leaves no doubt that Pakistan's forces, especially its air assets, took a sound beating in Operation Sindoor.
We were able to get there at least 2 command and control centers in like Murid and Chaklala that I have shown you one of the pictures. At least 6 radars, some of them big, some of them small. 2 SAGW system that is in Lahore and Okara. Then of course runway at Sargoda and Rahim Khan. 3 hangars that we attacked. One was of course Sukur, the UAV hangar, the Bholari hangar of AEW&C, and Jacobabad, the F-16 hangar. And we have indication of at least 1 AEW&C in that AEWC hangar and a few F-16s which were under maintenance there.
The end result was this. India's military actions overwhelmed Pakistan. And after 90 hours of the military conflict, Pakistan requested a stop to the firing.
I can say that it was, more of the high-tech war which was fought. In about 88, 90 hours of war, we were able to achieve, so much of damage to their system that it was very clear in their mind that in this current situation, if they continue, they are going to continue paying for it more and more. So they have come forward and sent a message again through DGMO कि हम बात करना चाहते हैं, and which was accepted from our side. And when I say our side, it's not just the Air Force, it's the joint decision that was taken, and it was taken even at the highest level.
So how did India achieve that? There were multiple factors. Most importantly, there was political will. And also, complete operational freedom was given to the forces to teach the enemy a lesson. India's success story was powered by Make in India. Akash surface-to-air missile system neutralized aerial threats such as enemy drones and missiles. It intercepted incoming projectiles with high success rates. D4 anti-drone system successfully countered waves of Pakistani drone incursions. It used advanced electronic and kinetic means to neutralize unmanned aerial vehicles. BrahMos supersonic cruise missile was used for precision deep strike missions against terror bases and military targets inside Pakistan. Akash Tir air defense control and reporting system provided centralized command and rapid response for air defense. It enabled effective interception and threat management. Multi-layered integrated counter unmanned aerial system or UAS grid. It combined radars, sensors and electronic warfare assets from the Army, Navy and Air Force to neutralize hostile UAVs and missiles. Weapon locating radars and 3D tactical control radars. They enhanced detection and tracking of incoming fire and aerial targets. Indigenous armed and artillery systems such as T-72 tanks and ATACMS advanced artillery were deployed for ground defense and deterrence. That's not all. Indian forces bypassed and jammed Pakistan's air defense systems, completing strikes in under 23 minutes. India neutralized and recovered enemy technology. This goes on to show the effectiveness of India's indigenous defense systems in countering modern threats. While India takes pride in how its indigenous defense systems crippled Pakistan's terrorist and military infrastructure, it also credits the Russian-supplied S-400 defense system for playing a crucial role in making Operation Sindoor a resounding success.
Their aircraft tried to penetrate our defenses. Our air defense systems have done a wonderful job. The S-400 system, which we had recently bought, has been a game changer. The range of that system has really kept their aircraft away from their weapons like, those long-range glide bombs that they have. They have not been able to use any one of those because they have not been able to penetrate the system.
The S-400 Triumph is a mobile surface-to-air missile system, or SAM, designed by Russia. It is seen as the most dangerous operationally deployed modern long-range SAM in the world. It is considered to be much ahead of the US-developed Terminal High Altitude Area Defense System, or THAAD. It can engage all types of aerial targets, including aircraft, unmanned aerial vehicles or UAVs, and ballistic and cruise missiles within the range of 400 kilometers and at an altitude of up to 30 kilometers. The system can track 100 airborne targets and engage 6 of them simultaneously. It is capable of firing 3 types of missiles to create a layered defense. It is 2 times more effective than previous Russian air defense systems and can be deployed within just 5 minutes. It can also be integrated into the existing and future air defense units of the Indian Air Force, Army, and the Navy. Now, the timing of India's acknowledgement of S-400's role in Operation Sindoor's success is crucial. It comes at a time when India-US ties are facing their biggest diplomatic test since US imposed sanctions on India after the 1998 Pokhran II nuclear tests. Amid the tension in ties with the US after President Donald Trump doubled tariffs on India over its purchase of Russian oil and hosted a nuclear blackmailing Pakistan Army Chief Field Marshal Asim Munir, eliciting a strong objection from India, the Indian Air Force's acknowledgement is a clear statement that India relies on the India-Russia strategic partnership even in times of adversity. India's strategic signaling to the world is clear. Russia is a valuable partner and a time-tested friend, and India cannot be browbeaten. It decides for itself. That's all in this edition of Connecting the Dots. We'll see you in the next episode with more raging issues. Until then, it's a goodbye from all of us in the Delhi newsroom. This is Munmun Bhattacharya signing off. Take care and stay safe.